A number of years ago, you and I were at a regional Evangelical Theological Society meeting. You were the main speaker, and I remember you sharing a wonderful illustration about the nature of faith. Would you mind sharing that with us today?
Well, as I recall it, this is really not my story altogether. It's a story that a colleague of mine told me about his grandfather.
Hmm.
And his grandfather came from the Swanee River area in southern Georgia, had never been to the north. And so he found himself in the north, in the heart of winter, facing the Susquehanna River. And the river was frozen over. He had never seen a frozen over river before. And he had heard it gets solid, so he got down on all fours, not sure about this. And he put out his left hand, then his right, and then he finally pulled out his left knee and his right knee, and he had all four on the river. And as he started to crawl his way across, he heard a rumbling sound behind him. He turned around, and here came a wagon drawn by four horses, charging down the hill and charged across the river and up the other side. And he said his father felt like an absolute idiot crawling out there. But it is a great illustration of faith because it illustrates how we have to go out by faith, trusting God. And that his grandfather was out there, but others are just storming out and they're just building their lives on the Lord and doing great things for him. So I think it's a good illustration of the degrees of faith too.
And biblical faith is not a leap into the dark, it's really stepping out on what God has revealed as true.
Biblical faith is a gift of God. You can't say of your own volition, I'm going to believe. Something happens to the believer that the Word of God energizes faith. And it's a deep conviction. And what you know in your heart is more real than what you hear with the ear. Because what you hear with the ear, you know that can be deceptive. But what occurs within us of the certitude of faith, that is rock bottom stuff that we trust. And it's God's grace to us.